Hey guys, come here for a second. I can't really see my screen, so I don't know how close this is to my face. This is probably... Bye! Let's try this again. Nope. I need a new tripod. So, one thing I want to tell you guys, because I want to admit things I did wrong. So that picture that I just showed you guys, that was like 2-3 days ago. I think that was Saturday. Today's Tuesday. So that picture of the deburred holes. So I mentioned before that we don't want to countersink holes. Well, those holes are countersunk. It's very slight, and on the material that I'm working with, it's all doublers and spars. So it's very thick aluminum. So the countersinking there shouldn't be that much of an issue because it's so thick. It's still going to be sturdy. It's not really lost any of its strength. But it would be an issue once I get to something like the skins, which are much thinner material. So I've been playing around, going back to the drill bit and trying it again. I watched a video on how people deburr with the drill bit, and how people correctly deburr with one of these so they don't countersink. And so I've been playing back and forth a little bit. I even tried a smaller drill bit because the problem I have with this is it doesn't stay centered on the hole. It kind of wanders, and so one side gets scraped and deburred while the other side doesn't get deburred nearly as well. And so I was having a problem with that. And so I tried it again. Still not the hugest fan of it, but it is much easier to not countersink with this. With this, it's very easy to go just a little too far and start countersinking it. The other option that we have from the video that I watched is to use either a file or a Scotch-Brite pad, one of these guys. So using this would actually deburr it, and it will scuff up the plane, the aluminum a little bit, but with the aluminum that Zenith uses, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Let me find my scissors. So using this should let us deburr the holes, so we end up getting rid of the burr, but not creating a countersink. So I'm going to see how this goes. Well, it worked great for the little burrs. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's some big burrs on here, real sharp edge, and really that sharp edge just tore up the Scotch-Brite pad more than the Scotch-Brite pad tearing it up. Oh, it does seem to be working. And then I don't have countersunk holes. Win-win. And the aluminum is already pre-scuffed for the zinc chromate anti-corrosion that I put on. It doesn't need to be scuffed for that stuff, but it just helps with the application. Well, I think the best thing for me is going to be a combo of this guy and the Scotch-Brite pad, because there's just some things that it doesn't look like the Scotch-Brite pad is really handling well. Those big burrs that are sticking out from the drilling process, because when I drill, at least in this piece, I was drilling from the top down into this, and so on the bottom side here, the top side is pretty good, where the drill came through the first material into this, when it was clamped to the spar. But when it came back down through the bottom, it created some really harsh bars, and the Scotch-Brite pad just is not dealing with those well. Maybe the drill will do a better job. Yeah, the drills seem to do a just fine job on that. So maybe just using a combination of the tools is going to be the best route for getting this job done without doing too much damage to my aluminum, because we certainly don't want that. We don't want a stabilizer that's going to fail on us. So, well, back to work, guys. Nice chatting with you. Hopefully you watch the rest of the video. So I guess the question really comes down to what's worse, a hole with some burrs on it or a hole that's slightly countersunk. I would think a hole that's slightly countersunk would be better than a hole that has burrs on it. A hole that has burrs on it is going to continue to cause structural damage throughout the life of your plane, whereas a hole that is just slightly countersunk, not too severe, I feel like that's one-time damage. I mean, yeah, you don't want damage at all, but the worst of two evils, I think the slightly countersunk is the better of the two evils. Obviously, I'm still going to try to avoid it, but if it happens, I mean, sometimes it happens. Maybe my drilling process is bad, but because it seems like some of these holes, I have some pretty severe burrs, and it takes a little while to get rid of them, almost necessitating a little bit of a countersinking to get rid of it. So, I don't know. I'll probably, one thing I've read, once I get to drilling the skins, probably put a wood block underneath the skin it provides stability for the skin so that where I'm drilling, I'm not bending it out and dimpling it, but it will also hopefully provide a cleaner drilled hole so I don't end up with such significant burrs, since countersinking is probably a bigger issue when it comes to the skins. But anyways, good talking to you guys. Hey guys, thanks for joining me as always. Thanks for watching. I'm going to throw a link down in the description down below about to a better instructional video on deburring than what I'm giving. That will hopefully teach you guys more. I hope this has been a learning experience as much for you as it has been for me. Again, thanks for joining. Throw any comments or questions down below. I'll see you guys later. So some of my earlier holes are definitely more countersunk. This is still my preferred tool. I'm going to keep using it. It's just so easy. But I'm also being much more careful with it to make sure I don't countersink holes excessively. We'll probably reassess when I get to drilling the skins and see what's best once I get to that point, since the skins are a much thinner material and a little more delicate. Yeah, thinner material. But for now, that has worked. I need to go take care of my wife, so I will. It's another short work day, but at least I got something done. Do a little bit every day. See you guys later.